Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition, and I am pleased in Bitcoin's progress. And I'm rocking my Bitcoin to the moon background in celebration of our nice move past 44. Has dropped a bit since then, but we actually had a close over 42 a couple days ago. So that's an important milestone for us to get back on track on Bitcoin's pump towards 40, 45, 50. And maybe we can punch it past the all-time high of 68 or 69 and change, sometime this month here in February. So with that in mind, let's go to the chart. All right, you guys should see my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we got it.
Very good. So I drew this trend line on Friday, I believe, maybe last Friday. Yeah, actually, sorry, a week ago on Monday. And Bitcoin followed it for a while, dropped below it, then shot above it. So right now we're at 43,770. I like to see a continued progress on Bitcoin, though. It wouldn't surprise me if it dropped down some into the low 40s, high 30s, maybe even mid 30s before it pumped again. So we are going to have some profit takers around here most likely, but I could be wrong. Maybe it'll just keep pumping like crazy. So I helped you guys out over the weekend, took another short on Ethereum. So of course that's been wrecked. And that's okay. Still glad to see the market moving up like this. Got me out of some long positions I'd been stuck in for a few weeks. So anyway, overall,
We appreciate
really,
your help.
yeah, I do what I can. So, but overall, I'm really happy about what Bitcoin's doing, and Ethereum doing even better here. I didn't really had a little dip here on Friday and then kept going. So blasted through 3,000 again, hoping to get to 4 and maybe even 5 by the end of the month. So still hear some rumblings about war with Russia and Ukraine. That would be bad that would affect the stock market, and of course, correspondingly the crypto market as well, at least for a while. But maybe the tensions have cooled off. Caught a news blurb this morning saying that the Ukrainians aren't that concerned about it. This has been hanging over them for years. So, but anyway, without going too much into detail about the world news, this is not necessarily a news channel, but it's good to know what's going on in the world because it can affect the markets. So, any questions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or anything to add to the overall markets? Okay. Tina says hi. Welcome, Tina. All right. Let's go to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find some trades. All righty. I've got my usual settings for Altcoin Alert. I'm on the Altcoin radar, and I've got the easy mode off. I want to have all the columns available to me. Do a quick reload. Get the current information. And we'll sort by AA score first. Axie is the only one that's bullish. It's 89.2. This was like 98 point something this morning, and I put an alert on it. Yeah, I put an alert on. I'm trying to catch some bullish divergence. Like I did the divergence alert. I've showed you guys how to do that before. Actually, we'll get a little ahead of myself. So let's go back to let's go to the day chart, get the overall view on Axie. Like a lot of the coins we've looked at the last few weeks, a big drop from November, 70%, but we're recovering some of that, just 56% at the moment. So that's the day chart. It's got plenty of room to retrace up to, well over $100, $150. On the hour, pretty big pump, but leveling off and dipping a little bit. Hoping this dips, down around here, and then I'll catch it, and then maybe it'll retrace back up. And then on the 5-minute chart, got some bullish divergence forming here on the momentum indicator. So, it hasn't, and then disappeared. That happens when something just shows up and the time frame hasn't closed yet. It's 17:10 just started, so at 17:15 maybe that'll close, maybe it won't. I don't rely much on the 5-minute divergence alerts. I like to use the 15-minute chart for those. So I've got my my alert here on the 15-minute chart. And we talked about divergence a lot since December. A real quick recap, it's a disagreement between the indicators like the MFI and the RSI and the price action. So, in this situation here, you've got bearish divergence where the candle action is going down, but then the indicator is going up, and then it's the other way around for bullish divergence. Or did I get that wrong? Anyway, it's a disagreement between those two. So on this chart, let's go to the 5-minute again. Pretty big drop happening right at the moment. So it wouldn't surprise me if this went into like a 1, 2, 3 dip sequence, something kind of like this. So this is really just a 1, 2, and then a shoot up. And we see that in a bullish market sometimes. I'm not quite ready to call this bullish, but the last couple of days have been. So if you only get 2 dips, and most of you guys should have seen the 1, 2, 3 dip training through iCoinPro by now, and a MACD cross down here where the blue line crosses over the orange line, that can be a good entry. So we've got 1, 2, and it's pumping again. We don't have a 3rd dip, but we've got a MACD cross right about here. So, to the SMA lines, like 1.7%, not bad. I would probably look to this area here as a retrace guide. So had I done that, I would have been out right about here, 3.5%. Had I been up at 3 a.m. and made a trade, I would have been out 6 hours later. So that's the kind of thing we're usually looking for. Is Bitcoin dropping? Let's go to the 5-minute on Bitcoin and see what's going on. Yeah, a little bit of a dip here on Bitcoin. Those tend to be exaggerated on the altcoins. Those Axie is one of those gaming coins, so it doesn't follow Bitcoin as rigidly as some of the others do. But anyway, with this information, we need to wait for a dip sequence. Now, we don't want to just sit here and stare at our screen all day. So that's why I like to use the alerts that I was talking about a little while ago. You can use a divergence alert. It changes to positive divergence detected. Let's see, notify on app. And, call this whatever you want. AA. Yeah, actually, it was 95, I think, and that's the one I used. So, or you can wait for it to hit a certain price point. So we've got, I'm not seeing real clear support, at least multiple support lines. There's some pretty good support down here. I don't know if it's going to drop that much from 67 to 54. Some more here on the 15-minute chart. Maybe an alert around 64 might be the way to go if you just want to do the price action. And other options are to do an alert on the MFI, the money flow index, one of my favorite indicators. Right click on here, add an alert. You want to be crossing up on the 20 value. And call it whatever you want at that point. If you want to go with the RSI, which is a little better known indicator, add an alert on the RSI. We're going to be crossing up 30. That's considered the oversold area. So Yeah. So on the 15-minute chart, that's where I like to put my alerts. On the 30 on the RSI, crossing up, the 20 on the MFI, crossing up, or bullish divergence in this situation on the divergence indicators. And real quick as a recap, we can find those. Here's our indicators on TradingView. Search for divergence. And I usually star the ones that I like. And so divergence for many indicators, volume 4, this is the one I use. So, all right, well, I went through that pretty fast. If it's new to you, you may want to catch the replay of this and watch it over again, or go back and find my prior videos on, or talk about divergence and how I use them on my charts. Any questions on
So
Axie?
are you just looking for any one of those to fire?
Well, I'm giving people options. The one I have on right now is this one here, Axie on a 15-minute chart, positive divergence. And I wrote a note to myself what the AA score was at the time I created the alert. It was 97.8. So that's the one I'm choosing for this. I mostly do either divergence or another trend-based one that I'll go over a little later called the Chandelier Exit. I don't think you were here for that one, Robert, last week, but
I must have been in Arizona.
oh, okay. Well, hopefully we'll connect sometime.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah. All right. Any questions on Axie before we look at another one?
It looks like it's in another dip has already begun.
Yeah, it does. We looked at the 5-minute chart moments ago, and we've got our bubble forming here on the Bollinger Bands. A couple, multiple red candles going down. So we might be able to catch a 1, 2, 3 dip in this fairly soon.
Yeah.
But I find that especially the RSI is one of my favorite ones on the 15-minute chart to catch dips, because once this drops below and comes back, it usually does that at least in the second dip, if not a third dip, on the 5-minute chart. So that's why I like it. All right. Well then, let's go to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find any others. Well, that's the only one that was very bullish. We got a few that are bullish. Gala I've traded recently. It's bullish and it's got some other desirable, trading activity, social activity, or fire. I don't necessarily look at the other information that much when I'm looking at the AA score, because the AA score is trying to be predictive. For example, it's telling us for Gala, it's got a 79.5% chance of achieving a 3% increase in price in the next 48 to 72 hours. So, that's usually sufficient enough for me to at least look at it. And I'm less concerned about these other things until I'm sorting by these other columns. We'll do that in a minute. So let's look at Gala real quick. Go to the day chart, get the big picture. I'm on Bybit right now. I should move over to something else. Look at Coinbase. Looks like it was listed in November. A big pump and a pretty big drop. I think that's enough history for us to look at. So we have retrace potential in the big picture back to 79 cents. It's been as low as 20 or 19 cents, 18 cents, and it's been now it's up to 35 cents. So this one's had a lot going on. On our 1 hour, really nice move up to 38 cents and kind of going sideways and drifting down a little bit since it's hit its recent high at 3 in the morning. On the 5-minute, mostly sideways action. Seeing some support down here around 35 cents. It's kind of squeezy. between the Bollinger Bands. Well, it's more than I thought. It's over 5%, so that's not bad. So if I wanted to trade this, it's pumping now off a single dip. So I don't know about that. Yeah, I'd probably go to my 15-minute chart and show you the same alerts as before. You can do an alert on the divergence, or the 20 value on the MFI, or the 30 value on the RSI. On the 15-minute, we could use this 30-cent area for support. You could just, or you could just set a, alert around there. If you want to go to the 5-minute and get a more recent, we're at pretty close to support now. So our next support's right about here. It's about pretty close to the same. Then we have a pretty big drop down here around 31, 32 cents. So you can put your alerts down there too if you want to wait for a bigger move down. Not sure if that'll happen today or tomorrow, but they could. Any questions on Gala? Okay, Tina mentions a triple bottom on the 5-minute. She might be talking about these candles here. Tina, do you want to unmute and tell me what you how you view the triple bottom and how that's significant? Or would you rather not be called on?
No, it's okay. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
I guess our screens display the chart differently. I'm looking at like 9 o'clock, 4:30, and
Okay,
8
what
o'clock.
time frame are you on?
That's what I'm looking at. I think I'm on UTC. Hold on, I could switch that.
Well, I mean, are you in the 5-minute chart or the 1-hour
Yes,
chart?
I'm on the 5-minute chart.
Okay.
And what are you on? UTC -7?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
mountain
see,
time.
okay. Like I'm looking around 1:40, 9:40, and 16:55.
Okay, so you're talking about these lows here, 140, 940, and this one
Where we are
here.
now, yeah.
Okay. And what does that tell you? That's not,
I
I've
don't.
heard of a triple bottom before, but I haven't really seen it applied to 5-minute charts. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when I see bottom references, it's usually much bigger time frames, like the hour, the day charts. So, but
Well,
that's why I called on you. I'm curious is how do you trade this frequently, and do you apply it to 5-minute charts?
no,
Okay.
I'm a beginner, and it's just the way my computer framed it. It looks perfect for, it bounced off that bottom a few times and then it went up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought. Like when you have a double bottom or a triple bottom, that means that it's like a price reversal.
Yeah, like I said,
Bounce up.
I've heard that on longer time frames, and you can apply those concepts to smaller ones. They're not as reliable, but that is intriguing to look at a triple bottom on a 5-minute chart and see if that's gonna make the move that Tina just described. So that's intriguing. So with that in mind, if you want to,
It's already gone up 4%.
Yeah, at the moment we just printed a red candle, so
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's going to pump, but it might do a more gradual move up. So interesting. Okay.
5 minutes is such a short time frame to trade on.
Yeah. We use it mostly for entries and day trading. So, but we do use it a lot on my Zoom. So, and Tina, have you seen the 1, 2, 3 dip training from iCoinPro?
I did.
Okay, and they use it a lot on there too. Okay, well, let's move on. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Tina.
Thanks for letting me contribute.
Hey, we love it when people speak up, even if I ambushed you and called on you. All right, Altcoin Alert. So that's 2 AA scores. Now, as most of you guys know by now, my favorite sword is this long-term sentiment sword. Reload. So we've got 3 very bullish. And what I'm looking for here is very bullish or bullish, and then agreement with the Elder Impulse Daily. The sentiment is the word on the street. What's Twitter saying about the project? So that's the emotional part of the trading. And then the technical side is the Elder Impulse Daily. I mean, you can read this description, but it's a strategy that has to do with momentum and the MACD and things like that. So when these are in agreement, that's something worthy of checking out.
Could you, TJ, do quant?
Yeah, we'll look at that. I noticed that one too, and I like quant, so we'll look at that one next. But I want to look at SHIB first. The only negative here is we got bearish on the short term, but since we have bullish or the very bullish on the long term, that's something I want to look at. And even though SHIB is not what I consider a quality project, I have no problem day trading anything. So let's check it out. It's not even in my list. Whoa, someone drawing on my screen? Hmm. Let's get out of that. Shoot, who did this? I'm not sure what happened here. If I can get rid of it.
JC.
Yeah, this is CJ. That's all right.
CJ, I'm sorry. My name's Ian. Been
Hey,
here
Ian.
before. And I might have put that sketch on your screen there by accident as I was hitting pencil, learning how this works, and I was wanting to send a message.
Okay. Can you delete it? Because this isn't going away. I'm not sure if I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can. As I say, I'm just I had thought I was hitting the pencil so that I might type in a message with a question. So I'm sorry to interrupt with as I saw the mute button.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new to this. I'm just I'll try and stay out of the way, kind of thing, you know. But
Well,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure why this happened though. Because if I go to
Me neither.
unstop or stop that, share screen.
My apologies.
Okay, I don't have something about allowing participants to draw on the screen. So I often have to do this with share screen, but I haven't had this problem before. So
yeah, that's amazing to me that I do that. But I think that perhaps is what happened because I hit the pencil anticipating a box to type in a message, and you referred to.
Sure, it's clean now.
Yeah, went away. So all right, let me.
Oh, see Patrick's comments.
Well, I'm afraid to click anything now.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Patrick's probably right.
Patrick's right.
I'm gonna mute.
It's the Russians, those pesky Ruskies interfering on our
goodness.
show.
Let me draw on your picture again.
Yeah, that's all I need. All right, well, there's a little drama for us today.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so what were we looking at? We're about to look at SHIB. Okay. Coinbase. What's SHIB been doing on the day chart? Pretty nice movement up to 89, 81 with a billion zeros. I always love people say, yeah, SHIB's going to get to $1. We're going to be rich. SHIB gets to $1. That's like the market cap of Apple or something. Anyway, it's down 70, 80%, and then up about 20% beyond that, like a lot of the coins we've been seeing. On a 1 hour, pretty nice move. Looks like it topped out here around 35, 38, dropped since then. On the 5 minute, trending down. Looking squeezy here. Oh, not really, 7%. Yeah, I don't like this as an entry at the moment. It's hanging around the SMA line. If it were punching above it, be more inclined to get in. The MFI and the RSI look pretty good at the moment, but it's not real reliable on the 5-minute chart. So it's gonna be more of the same. Go to your 15-minute chart, and do your alerts. That's what I would do. That's pretty high on the MFI. It's almost at 80 on the 15-minute chart. So, we're in the 50s here on the RSI, so it could be a while before it drops. This could be one to show a trend to trade. Now, most of what we talk about here are pullbacks and retraces off dip trading. Dip trading is my favorite, but I do some trend trading too. I've been dabbling with a few different indicators, and this one I talked about on Friday. This is the Chandelier Exit. So let me duplicate this. Go to SHIB. And I usually go to the 15-minute chart for these two. So at the moment, we've got a sell signal on the Chandelier Exit. And what I would do if I wanted to trade a trend on this is I was right click on here, add my alert to, it gives you buy, direction change, or sell. If you're gonna trade it all day, I go with the direction change. If you can trade it once, I go with the buy. So you click on the buy. Why is it doing that? And then like trend trade. And then you create that one. So that's what I would do for that. When the alert goes off, then I'm gonna look at my other indicators. I like this STC. If this is trading up green at the time that this alert goes off, that's an indicator I like. Choppiness, this sort of detects, consolidation. Like we don't want to be trading in this mess here. I mean, that's going nowhere. So you can see the choppiness index is high. But when it gets a big move like this, it drops. So like this one would have been great. The Chandelier Exit goes off here. The choppiness is below 50 and dropping hard. The MFI is screaming up. So, that's a bunch of indicators telling us to go. So that would have been a really good entry at 7:45 this morning. So again, this is the Chandelier Exit. I've used it for about 6 weeks. I'll probably do a separate video on it sometime, but I introduced it on Friday. And I know it's frustrating to constantly look for dips. Well, this way you don't have to. You can just try to catch this trend. I don't think, this is going to be as successful as the dip trades, but I like it when a trend is well established. So, all right. All right, Billy's asking about SHIB and why it's not a quality project. It's a meme coin. It doesn't really have much actual use case, is my understanding. And it's so, it's not worth anywhere close to a penny. So it's impractical as a currency. But people like it and they like the cute imagery of it. And so that has some value, but it's mostly a meme coin that's discussed on social media. And I think it's something I want to hold. I want it to have some actual functionality, like Ethereum or Bitcoin's a store of value, things like that. So, but I have no problem trading it. I'll day trade things like this all day. It's fine with me. All right, any questions on SHIB, the Chandelier Exit, or any of the other indicators I've showed you? I hope I haven't bombarded you guys with too many indicators. I'm a little worried about that, but
JC.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Ian Brown again. I lost my volume. You're very, very faint.
Okay.
And I'm watching on my phone, but it's turned right up. Did you do something on your end?
No, and I've never been accused of of being faint. So,
I can hear you strong.
No, it
Yeah.
sounds
It's fine here too.
Sounds fine here.
yeah, that's why I wear the headset. So, yeah, I think it might be
Okay.
something on your end, but that's all right. We do
Very good.
have technical difficulties from time to time. Wouldn't be the first time. So,
Thank
all
you.
right. You're welcome, and thanks for everybody else for chiming in. Okay, I think that's enough SHIB unless we have a question on this. All right, we'll look at one more altcoin alert coin, and then we'll move over to iCoinPro. SLP, it's another gaming token. Chili's I've traded a lot lately. Let's look at that. We got a bullish. Well, we don't really have confirmation though. Quant, that's right. I told Natalie we'd look at Quant. Let's look at Quant. We will look at our usual charts. There's Quant. Okay, day chart.
Look at Chili's afterwards.
Okay. Pretty hard drop from September, but coming back. Let's see, our chart. Looking like most of the others, but a nice pump up the last couple days, but dipping a bit on the 5-minute. We have what looks like a dip sequence starting. You know, we're bubbling out here, pretty hard dip, a recovery, and now red candles. Wouldn't surprise me if this did something like that and then came back. So yeah, this could be a dip sequence candidate here. So I'm gonna actually set an alert on this. I'm gonna go to my 15-minute chart. And we have divergence here on the MFI at 153, but it hasn't really been confirmed. We don't have a pump up yet. So instead of doing that, I think I will go to the MFI and use this. Crossing up 20. If you use the only once function, which is really what I want, it'll trigger, and then, you know, if the coin position moves within the 15-minute candle, it'll disappear. It's what we call repainting. So I like to use the 1 bar per close. You just have to remember to turn it off if you don't want this going off at 2 or 3 in the morning. So go notify on app, show the pop-up. I'm gonna play a sound. This looks like it'll be chirpy. And I'm gonna call this something. This was under the long-term sentiment sort. So I've got that one here. I use it all the time. And that's my alert. And I want to know what information source I used and what alert I used on every trade I do. So that's a good thing to track. I have a spreadsheet for it, but whether it's a yellow pad sitting next to your computer or a spreadsheet or whatever, you should track that information. So, and I will give away my spreadsheet if you guys want to use it. So email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com if you want a copy of that. All right, so here's my my alert. And that should show up over here in the alerts. Yeah, quant 15-minute goes above the money flow index on the 20. It shows up here if I hover over it. So I'm good to go on that. All right, any questions on quant? Well, actually, let's look at this on the Chandelier Exit as well. Let's say we don't want to wait for a dip sequence. And we're trying to catch a trend. Looks like it just went into a sell position. So, you know, I can right click on this and it's showing, you know, the first one it goes to is buy. So go once per bar close and long-term sentiment. So now I've got 2 alerts. I've got a trend-based one and a dip-based one. So a little bit of overkill, but we'll see if I can get a good quant trade.
DJ, What's the W? I can't read it good. WAE something? What is
Yeah,
that?
it's like, I'm not even sure. It's like wasabi explosion or something like that. It's really weird. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this one or not, but it's supposed to be used with the Chandelier Exit to confirm. I'd rather use the choppiness index and the MFI and even the RSI over this, but the idea is like right here, if this sell alert goes off and this this indicator is above this white line, and that's supposed to be a good indicator. I haven't used this one very long, just a few weeks. That's why I haven't talked about it, but it is on my chart. So good
Thank
eye
you.
to catch that.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Pamela's asking, is All Alert $1,000 monthly? And you still have to do research. No. No, if you're a CryptNation member, like most of us are, it's a lot less. I think it's 97 a month. But if you're not a CryptNation member, for institutions, they have to pay something like this.
I think
But
something for the year, right?
Maybe.
Yes, that's correct. The AA is $970 a year.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's that much for the year. You still have to do research. Not necessarily. I mean, I was a day trader before I started using Altcoin Alert, so it was always my intention to pair it with my chart analysis. So that's why I do this show, at least the Altcoin Alert portion. But yeah, you can set up alerts on the Slack group that go off on 80s and 20s on Altcoin Alert. If you get it, it'll go off when you get a score in the shoot. If you get a score in the 80s or higher, you can just trade that if you want. I tried that for a while, it worked, and then it didn't. So I like to combine the information I get with Altcoin Alert with my my chart analysis. Okay. Well, that's about all I have for Altcoin Alert. Any questions on that before we move to iCoinPro?
Any puts?
Sorry, what was that?
Anything in the opposite direction?
Oh yeah, puts. I think we call them shorts, but yeah, puts. I've heard that term on commodities, I think, but probably in stocks too. All right, so you can sort the long-term sentiment, what Mark's talking about, and I do this frequently. Actually, this has been a lot of my trading when we were in the downturn lately. If I click this again, now I get bearish. So in this scenario, I'm looking for bearish on the long-term sentiment and bearish on the Elder Impulse daily, or at least the hourly. I'm not really seeing a good candidate because it also has to be a coin that I know is on a derivatives exchange, because you have to trade leverage when you're doing shorts. It's a little beyond what some of the folks on here are doing who are just who are still learning spot trading, and that's something you should do before you do any derivatives trading. But I do it. This is most of my trading now, and I know some of the people on the on the call do it as well. The closest I see is Ethereum, that I know to be on an exchange that has derivatives trading on a short, and even that one's not very good at the moment. Because we don't have confirmation with the Elder Impulse. Like these three here are conflicting. We have bearish and neutral on NKN, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. So these are three you could probably look at, since you have bearish on the long term and a neutral on the daily, but I wouldn't recommend it.
The trend seems to be up, so
Yeah.
you'd be going against the trend at this point.
Yep. So yeah, I'm going to pass on that for the moment, but it's essentially everything I showed you to the opposite.
So what about Chili's?
You know what? We can look at some shorts on iCoinPro, because there's a sort in there that that's going to have a lot of that information. So I think that's a little bit better for finding him sometimes than this is, but
Okay.
all right. Yeah. So Pamela's new and she's an indices trader. Okay, that's interesting. That's more on the commodity side. New to crypto, overwhelmed with info. Yeah, if you're brand new joining this show, you know, I think this is for like late beginners, early intermediates. I consider myself sort of an intermediate trader. But hopefully you can watch this and maybe rewatch it and it'll sink in for you. I do recommend watching the 1, 2, 3 dip training a couple times. And then that'll help with some of what I've been talking about here. But all right, let's go over to iCoinPro. And we'll see if Chili's shows up in one of those sorts. So let's look at RSI SPY because this is what's going to have some of that shorting information. And I'm sorting by the 1 hour RSI. And the RSI is one of those indicators I showed you earlier that I like to look at. And if it's 70 or more, that's usually an indication that it's overbought and due for a drop. Everything is overbought right now because we've been pumping the last couple of days. So I don't know if this is incredibly useful, but we do have lots of things listed here, some of which are, you know, we can short if we want to. Trying to see if we have Chili's on here since it came up. We'll just go ahead and look at Chili's first. Then we'll come back to this. So, okay, I now have a positive divergence on my Axie, alert. So I can go over here. I can click on the alert log, and it'll take me to that chart. It'll show me this. So I have 3 indicators that are in bullish divergence. I've got a slight trend up on the MFI, a trend up on the RSI. So I like what I see here. This is probably a trade I would take. Could look at the 5-minute to confirm.
Yeah, it seems to have gone up since we're
1,
looking at, however,
2.
on the 5-minute.
Yeah, I've got 2 dips with a couple green candles, so it's a little risky because this could go into a 3rd or 4th dip. So I'm not going to take this immediately. Probably wait till I get a break here and then check it out. But yeah, that's, you know, that's kind of cool. An alert goes off during the show. All right, so we'll go to Chili's. I like Chili's. I like chili too.
CJ, one quick
Hey.
question with your red and your green, are those hidden divergences or are they regular divergences?
That is a good question.
Because I was reading the chart here and the coloration is for hidden versus regular.
Yeah, I think it's both.
And it looked like the yellow and the purple were for regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on down.
Then they're yeah, I changed those because I wanted to emphasize regular divergence. So they're regular divergence.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to try to explain that. So Connie's an advanced trader and throwing out advanced questions, but that's fine. There are lower forms of divergence, and I stick with the higher forms, for lack of a better explanation. All right, so we're on Chili's, the day chart, and we had a high back in November, 58 cents, dropped down to 17, back up to 23. Lots of room to move to get back up. Nice pump today. I caught some of this earlier action last couple of days, so I'm liking Chili's right now. At the moment, what do we do with it? Big drop, bubble here, looks like a 1, 2, 3 dip. The candle action's pumping back up pretty hard, so we may not get, you know, when the overall market's pumping, a lot of times you don't get 3rd dips. So we got 1 and that's it. I'd probably hold out for a second, but you know, maybe not. RSI is or the MACD is almost crossed here on the 5-minute. It's kind of in no man's land, close to the SMA line. So I go with my 15-minute alerts that I was talking about earlier. you know, either Divergence, MFI 20, RSI 30. So that's my quick Chili's tour. Mark, I think you were asking about that, or was that someone else? All right, well,
Yeah, that was me.
okay.
That was me.
And any questions on this, or are we good to go?
Yeah, just took carbon. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to iCoinPro then. And back to the RSI SPY. Like I said, everything's overbought. So in this situation, I want to look for overbought that's both the 1 hour and the 4 hour. And there's a bunch of them listed. I want to have good volume though. And the top of this list is XRP. So let's see if we can short XRP. Big pump. Yeah, I was in a trade on this. I got out of it. So, Connie or anyone else, do we have any news on XRP? It's been in that lawsuit for a while. So that may be the explanation for this, or is it just riding the wave with everything else?
Well, I think it's really riding the wave with everything else, but there are so many negotiations going on with Ripple Labs globally, and they are entering into so many areas of the cryptocurrency world that, you know, the lawsuit will be great and being settled, but gosh, when it does, that price will explode.
Yeah, I've been
So,
waiting
you
for
know, a lot
that.
of people are just becoming very positive about everything that they're doing in spite of the SEC. So.
Yeah, I think we had a 15-20% move today. The
Yeah.
UTC time just changed now, so it's down about 1%, but earlier today it was double digits. So, okay, on the hour, yeah, big move here. And then on the 5-minute, oh, I'm on the wrong chart. I need to be on a different chart. My bad.
I can tell you, I'm in 3 XRP shorts at the moment myself.
Okay.
Which is for the next conversation.
Very well. Okay, I need something with Bollinger Bands. All right. So yeah, look at all these on the 15-minute chart, all these bearish divergences because it's been pumping. So again, this is sort of a contrarian view of the market. You know, but we had this one fire off at, you know, at 330, went down, you know, about 1.3%, went back up. Yeah, down about the same. So, you know, you'll get 1-2% moves based on this, but sometimes it won't do much at all. Like this one here went off and then went sideways and up. So, you know, these aren't perfect, but they can be helpful.
You got a lot of money chasing it. Look at the money flow.
Yeah. Yeah, even with a little bit of a dip here, it's still hanging around in the middle. So you might want to do that alert up here. So instead of doing one at 20, we do one at 80 on the 15-minute chart. Add an alert, crossing down, 80 once per bar close, and RSI SPY short. This is one I do quite a bit. So create, and I'm good to go. So we'll see if I decide to short this later on, if this one goes off. All right. So that's how we short using information. I mean, you would use, you know, this information is from iCoinPro, but you would do the same thing with the long-term sentiment score on Altcoin Alert if it gave you a bearish signal. So that's I'm running kind of late here, so I'm gonna check out of RSI SPY. You would do the same thing on any of these that you want to short. You could do it on VeChain or Matic had a big move today. That's a Bitcoin pair, but there's probably a USD pair down here somewhere. You know, Cardano, Filecoin, there's a bunch of them. Even Bitcoin is listed here. So that's the RSI SPY. And the other one I like a lot is Buddy Coin Crawler. And I sort this by average low to SMA. And the low is a 24-hour low of the coin, and the SMA line's that pink line you see between the Bollinger Bands on my charts. So looking for 5% or better. I'm also looking for big volume, like 10 million or more. So you'll see this frequently on this one. You'll see some of the bigger values, but there's almost no volume. You know, USDT pairs on Coinbase Pro are useless. USD pairs on Binance are all, USDC pairs on Binance are also useless. Now Coinbase Pro, you want to be with the USD pair, and on Binance, you want to be with the USDT pair. So SHIB, you know, we've already looked at that one. That's got big volume here. That's just over 1 million. We have a few candidates here, but they're shit, but they're really only SHIB tokens. And then after that, we go below 5%. I do want to show you guys the sort. So let's look at this one, People USDT. I've seen this one. I haven't traded it yet. So I'll just go over here real quick. All right, recently listed on Binance. It's been over a month. I think that's enough data to work with. A big drop, pretty good recovery. And on the 1 hour, you know, I haven't been putting in my trading ranges, but I'll do that now on this one. So like I've got some support here and here. So there's one. Then up here. Go here. One could argue I should put this up here, maybe put a secondary one up, but the short-term trading range, or at least on the 1 hour charts, between about 7.5 cents and 10 cents. And then over on the 5 minute, bubble starting to come together. Never really started a dip sequence that we're used to seeing with the, well, it did back here, but we've missed that one. So again, it's going to be more of the same that I've showed you already with this. If you want to trade this one, you know, you do your divergence alert here, or the MFI above 20, RSI above 30. Or, yeah, that's about all I see here. All right, any questions on iCoinPro? Sorry, I only had time for one coin per sort here, but this RSI SPY, you know, I think
I just wanted to say goodnight to everybody.
Go to. Okay, Natalie, I'm not quite leaving yet though, but if you have to go, then we'll see you next time.
I do. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Bye.
Natalie. Bye-bye.
Hey, CJ, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah, so I see you using the with the trading view. What was the actual thing? Just the chart view that you're using the most often. Is that another like pay for thing, or is that something that's open through the altcoin? Yeah, this screen right here, the trading view. Is this something that you have to pay for? Or does this come with the altcoin?
No, this is a separate company. TradingView is probably the most used you know, software for what you see here, charts and analysis and news and things like that. So
okay,
yeah, there's a free account. You know, I can give you my link for that if you want. Most people who trade with some frequency get the Pro Plus account, which I think is $15 a month.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's 30, I don't recall, because I've got the premium plan because I've got, you know, alerts all over the place. You know, that's I think I pay annually for that. It's around 50, 30 or 50. Connie, I know you buy that one too. How much is that one?
Actually, they get a really good price on Black Friday.
Right.
Get it down, you know, so it's like $2.99, but regularly it'd be about $50 a month.
Right.
Gotcha. Quick follow-up. I see that you have Binance in the what do you call it? The address, right? Tradingview.com/. So is that what you're using? Is that linked somehow to your Binance? Like that's the connection that you made, and that's the platform you use to do your the exchange to do the trades?
You can link it to it. I never did, but a lot of I traded on Binance almost exclusively until October of last year, where they started requiring KYC. And, you know, as an American citizen, I knew I wasn't going to get through on that. So I had to start looking for other options that happened to coincide with my switch of trading almost, you know, I mostly trade leverage anyway. So I do that on Bybit and Femex. So I don't really need to trade on Binance anymore. But since most of my charts are have these, you know, have a lot of these marks on them from Fibonacci retracements and some more advanced, you know, charting, then I still use Binance charts a lot. Plus we have a few international members who can use Binance. And so it's a practical matter, you know, what the charts look like are gonna be pretty similar on Binance and Coinbase Pro and, you know, KuCoin and some of the others that most people use.
Gotcha. I just have crypto.com now, and Binance just appears to be way more sophisticated.
Yeah, if you're in the US, you can't really use Binance International. So if you're looking for, you know, to do spot trading based on some of the things, you know, I'm talking about, then you should I suggest KuCoin or Coinbase Pro.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Well, guys, I need to wrap this up because I'm like at an hour. So I've been talking a lot and a lot of great interaction with you guys asking questions. I love that. So I really appreciate it. And I'm going to stop the recording here if I can find it. All right. And for those of you interested in Carbon, please stick around. I'll be back in about a minute. Otherwise, see you on Friday.